Peace, y'all. It's your boy ActionFiggySkinny here again with another quick hit review. And today we've got not highly anticipated, but people were excited a little bit for a few characters in this wave. We've got Wave 3 X-Men 97's Marvel's Cable. This thing dropped pretty early considering these were only announced about a couple months ago, maybe about a month ago officially, and they've been dropping like flies. I don't know where most people out in Toronto or even the UK got theirs, but I got mine from CMD Store. And if y'all want to go ahead and shop at CMD Store, I'm going to put a link in the description below. As long as you guys give this video a like, you guys might catch that. So yeah, go ahead and do that while you're here. Without further ado, because there isn't much to talk about Cable without seeing Cable. I mean, you can see he has two guns, he has two hands, he's got the standard cable of the cableness. Let's just see if he got some holsters on this thing, because I've been wondering that. So, without further ado, we about to see what's in this box. Chill. And as previously mentioned before, for those of you who care about the packaging like that, we have Cable here, who's the standard size of Cable. I believe he's the same size as the recently released Zabu Wave Cable that looks like MVC2. So you can kind of swap, and yeah, which I'm going to be doing, don't worry. He has his two hands, and fist, two sets of guns, two blaster effects, standard-ish. The back reads nothing. It just shows you the other figs in the wave, other figs that I might be excited for. Emma Frost is a meh, Morph is a meh, Sunspot is exciting, but I mean, I'm using that body to make other members of New Mutants. Jubilee is cool. Logan, we've had Logan, many Logans. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into this thing. Let's do this. And here he is, fresh out the packaging, and much like the look on his face, I'm not gonna lie, I am a little disappointed in this fig. Right out the gate. A few things that I would have liked to that they included that they did not. I can see off rip that his arm movement is mad limited due to these super stiff shoulder pads that they put on him. Not sure why they did that. Not sure why they didn't go with a more malleable plastic. Don't know why they didn't just cut them off so that his arms could go 360. I don't know. No holsters for the guns. You gave me two big ass guns and not even a holster. The character on the imaging on the front shows him holstering his gun on his back. We couldn't add a magnet, some sort of hook, something. I don't know. There's no boot cut. This guy's got some big ass boots. Ain't no boot cut. No butterfly wings. A lot of things that I would have liked in a Cable that they gave us in another Cable. So I'm kind of like, all right, am I just using this body as father? Do we just get by this for the head sculpt? I'm not sure. All to say, we're gonna get into it. The aesthetic is nice. Colors are dope. You know, you got your 90s looking Cable look here, which is cool. Just more of an X-Men 97 animated look to it, which is also cool. And just some things that I'm just not down with. Let's get into like head sculpt and what he looks like first, and then work our way down, and then we can get into accessories, articulation, comparisons. Y'all know how it is. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, so as mentioned, head sculpt wise, this guy looks great. Like it's cool. the head sculpt is super detailed. Very nice. Got the comm link on the side to look like he's talking and stuff. You know what I mean? Like standard stuff. Standard stuff is just, yeah. I like the blue they chose. The blue for the top part here is very, very cool. I like that. I like the standard X here. That's very, very good. The belt looks nice. Very much like the 90s Cable that we got before it from the Sasquatch wave. And yeah, cool things going on here. It's just, as I mentioned before, certain things that hinder. A lot of things that hinder, but art wise and kind of aesthetic wise, this is cool. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the accessories and then get into articulation afterwards. Okay, let's do that. All right, so accessories wise, your boy does not come with much. He comes with two trigger hands that you got, these trigger fingers, trigger things, you know what I mean? Hold up. The manual focus on that. So you got the left, we have the right, the right and left trigger hands. Then he has these two blast effects that we've seen with Mad Iron Man that we have, and these have like a coloration. I like them, you know what I mean? The guns are cool. This is one gun, some detail but not enough. You can plug this joint in here like such. Hold on, let me plug it in. Is it this one? Yeah, you can plug it in there, get that effect. It's cool. This one goes in a smaller joint here. Here's this gun. So like the detail is cool, as you can see. Let's just, detail on these is cool. You know what I'm saying? These kind of just pop in directly into the hands, which is cool. No effort. They hold the weapons. It's great. The big gun is also very dope. I like that. Here's my beef though. No gun holster. Like, not one. The old cable had a thing where you could just have, there was a little hole in here in the side of the gun, and you would just plug it in to the back, right? For some whatever reason, they did not include any holsters or anything on him. I'm talking about even if you had a bit of plastic where you could just clip it here. You know what I'm saying? That would just look cool. But now I gotta do it myself. So that's my biggest gripe about giving us a character with big old guns, but then nowhere to put said big old guns. And it's just like, I guess he's just gonna pull them out of like an interdimensional like storage unit or something. I don't know. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. Don't really like, just, I don't know. It takes points off. And I already mentioned a few of my gripes before, so there's points coming off gradually on this cable that I was not so much excited for. I just thought they would do better. But now with the Maximum series, I could see where they're gonna kind of like save all of that for like one of those. So let's see what he looks like with the guns in hand. All right, let's do that. So here he is holding the right, with his right, trigger hand, holding the bigger gun. I like to call this the BFG. I'm saying. So that's what he looks like. Not terrible, you know, not terrible at all. But I wish he had a holster. Now let's see him with the smaller gun. All right, articulation time. So in terms of articulation, this guy, he is your standard Marvel Legends articulation, except for, as you can see, and as mentioned before, this here armor gets in the way. And it allows us to have a bit of a hard time getting his arms up fully extended to the point where, you know, you'd be comfortable to be like, hey, his arms extend in a way that I like. So I'm going to just go ahead and point this out. He is pinless all around. That is cool. Pinless, pinless, pinless. Great. Arms go up, double jointed like so. Everybody's happy with that. Double jointed arm. He is obscured by the cuff on his glove that is not removable, by the way. His arms go up in a T formation like so, which is cool. Again, not up to the fullest point because of this here hard plastic that should have been malleable, and that is not. His head goes up that much and tilts down quite a bit. He has that extra neck joint / articulation pegged in there, so you can get a little bit more movement out of the head, which is not too bad. The arms, as I mentioned, cannot do a 360. This is as far as the arms go up forward, and that is like, for someone like Cable who carries guns and does that, for him to only be able to do this with his arms because of that armor is straight trash. Again, debating cutting that off to kind of see if I can maximize that. Not too great. Not too happy about that. Big points lost for that. Going forward, he moves forward that much and back that much. Not much at all. That would probably have to be modified. Knees double jointed. That works, which is good. On this side too, that works. You know what's also cool? Man, does he have a boot cut? No boot cut. Could have had a boot cut, no boot cut. Instead, we get the regular ankles, but no boot cut. A lot of things in this articulation-wise that should have been better, that aren't good, and that's why this cable loses mega points. Mega points from me. Let's go ahead really quickly, because I talked about the articulation. There's not much you can do about it. Let's go ahead and swap some heads on this here guy and see what he looks like with the Zabu Wave Cable's head on him before I get into comparisons, because I tried it before and I think it looks quite awesome. First, I'll try the 90s cable, the original one. So this guy, who these are the same height. However, this guy has, I'm not, dare I say, better articulation, because his ab, like, he can even crunch a bit lower than him, like, you know what I mean? He has holsters for his guns. It looks super ragtag and nuts when you kind of, but yeah, it works. So let's go ahead and swap this head on here, and I'm going to try the Zabu Wave cable. Then we're going to get into comparisons and wrap this thing up. So yeah, let's do that. So that's what the 90s Sasquatch Wave cable's head looks like on there. It's not pegged in or anything because the head sculpt is too big. It is just floating there. I think that looks all right. I'm going to try the X-Men 97 head on this cable body, and this looks super dope. I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. if I could get interchangeable hands for this cable so that he could have fists and whatnot, I would actually really, really like this. I don't hate this at all. This looks pretty dope. Let's go ahead and put the Zabu wave head on that body like I mentioned. Taking the Zabu wave head sculpt, popping it on there. It's like he doesn't have a neck. He actually will have lack thereof of a neck. Super lack of a neck, but this otherwise like looks pretty dope. I need to, you know, give it a little bit of a rise to kind of, you know, but otherwise that doesn't look terrible. That does not look absolutely horrid. I like that. As for the 97 cable head, whoopsies, losing pieces to cables. Whoops. So as for the 97 cable head on the Zabu wave cable, he just has too much of a long neck. But you see what I'm saying? Like it doesn't fit in perfectly, but I don't know. All to say, if you guys want to do some swapping, I would say this is the better swap right here, and then this on the older cable doesn't look bad, but that older cable is super dated. It just kind of looks good to pose with X-Force, but they still haven't perfected cable. We still need some work, so we'll see what they do when we get a maximum cable eventually. But yeah, so either way, let's go ahead and get into comparisons and compare these guys together to make everybody happy. Let's go ahead and do that. Chip. Okay, final thoughts. Overall thoughts on this figure. This guy I give him 7 out of 10 vibes. No holsters for the big guns. Easily could have made his ab crunch a little bit deeper. Easily could have put moldable or malleable plastic on this armor so that his arms could like go up or something, some sort of cloth or something. But they didn't do that, and now I'm in this weird position where it's like, am I shaving things down? Am I cutting off completely? I'm really gonna wait for some sort of like Scorpio customs or some sort of you know, just some sort of kit bashing formulas for him to come up with that I could try on here, because I'm not trying to cut this up myself. But yeah, that being said, this figure for what we paid for it, which was retail $36.99 Canadian, this is probably going to be about like 27 something in the States. This is definitely a drip, but this is also a wait on this. This is a wait till it goes on sale, because for full price, this isn't really worth it. And I feel like there's certain things that this cable, who came out years ago, did better than this one. And that shouldn't really be the case, even though, I mean, we can't really blame them. It's hard times everywhere, so on and so forth. You got to cut costs, but like there's just certain elements. The cover of this figure shows him with a gun holstered on his back. And on all of this open space on his back, you could have easily made some sort of holster or some sort of area where this gun would have pegged in. And you didn't do it, and you ignored that, and that bothers me. So because of that, y'all lose points. That being said, if you guys liked this review, please definitely go ahead and leave a like, because the likes help this video get shown to more people, and being shown to more people helps the channel. And you know that y'all want to help the channel, because that's the thing you want to do. All to say, if you would like to catch more reviews, please go ahead and hit that notification bell, because I'm putting out more reviews, more and more, 2 or 3 times a week, sometimes once a week, lots of shorts, all sorts of postings, but you're getting posts. And that being said, I really, really enjoyed this figure. I did, but there are my gripes. That's what I gave it the score it did. Tune in to the next reviews that I'll be doing, which is this Captain America I got coming up next. This Cap, he's coming up next with here Venom, so it's going to be dope. It's going to be a great old time. Thank you guys for watching. Keep fit, have fun, continue collecting, enjoy collecting, because it's a great hobby and the world's crazy right now. Peace, love, take care. It's your boy, ActionFiggySkinny. Until next time. Peace!